The Red River Zoo is gearing up to host its 4th annual Zoo Brew event tomorrow night. And here to tell us a little bit more about the event, we check in with Sally Jacobson, the zoo's executive director. Sally, thank you for joining us again today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. Almost every day is a beautiful day at the zoo, though. So let's talk a little bit about what Zoo Brew is.
Yeah, so Zoo Brew we started about 4 years ago because we wanted to offer our guests an experience that was just for adults and really kind of tap into a whole new market and give people a chance to experience the zoo without children involved. And it's actually a really fun event that really does help to support our ongoing operations, animal care, and education programs. So when you come to Zoo Brew, this year we have over 20 different local brewers that will be at the zoo on site. We will have them across the entire campus of the zoo, so you can stroll the zoo's grounds, and we'll have animals out with our zookeepers talking about the work that we do and giving you some really unique experiences. And then we cap it all off with a really fantastic concert this year. It is post-traumatic funk syndrome, so we're really looking forward to a beautiful night.
I love post-traumatic funk syndrome. What a fun event. And you touched on this, but I would like you to expand. I mean, everyone has been hurt because of COVID-19, and the zoo wasn't open for a little bit, and numbers are probably not where they have been in other years. How important is it for people to support you with events like this?
It's critically important, particularly this year, not only with the temporary closure, but all of our regular revenue sources that we get from large events, from weddings, from rentals, all of those kinds of things have kind of dropped out on us. Of course, we do have people visiting the zoo. We have about 75% of normal attendance, but that drop off we experienced right at the beginning, and then the resounding effects of not being able to have large events or people not being comfortable with that, it's been a bit devastating. Now we're going to be fine, but this is the time when we typically make all of our money for the year to get us through winter. So this year, and Zoo Brew is probably the only large event that we will be having this year. So it's critically important for us to help us ensure that we are going to be able to get through our winter without having to sacrifice any programs that we might have for the community.
I hadn't thought about that, but I have been to a wedding at the zoo, and I would imagine you're right. Weddings have been canceled, so that's a big financial hit. My mom and dad, they did the grandmother or the grandparent pass, so they have actually brought the kids to the zoo, and they love it. I love bringing my kids to the zoo. But you mentioned this right off the top, too. You don't have to go to the zoo with your kids to have a good time, or you don't even have to have kids, because Zoo Brew is really a fun event because right, you don't outgrow loving the zoo.
No, and I think a lot of people think of zoos and they just think of children, but it's actually really fantabulous, that's a good word, space for adults in our community. And I'm excited about Zoo Brew because it does offer us the opportunity to share the zoo in a time when so many things have been canceled. I do need to emphasize, we do have plenty of precautions in place this year as far as the virus is concerned and social distancing. So I want to ensure that everybody that we are running this as safely as possible. So we will be handing out, we have over 1,000 masks on site. We have plenty of 32 acres to socially distance. So the zoo is going to look a little different this year as far as not having everybody congregate in one area, but it's going to be equally as charming as it normally is.
That's a good point, and that's why I've been fine with my kids going with Grandma to the zoo, because it's a huge space, very easy to social distance as well. So this would really be a great night. So many people have wanted to go out and do something fun, and we all love our craft beers. That business has just exploded. So talk about the match of having beer and breweries at the zoo.
Oh, it's just a fun event, and it's a great way. Our local brewers are really supportive, not only of the zoo, but of so many nonprofits and so many community initiatives. So really it was a natural partner when we're trying to create an adult event to center on what we have here locally and what's produced here in our area, and especially with having such generous brewers in our area. So it's been a really fun partnership, and I think that it's allowed people, adults, to experience the zoo in a whole new way. So we're just so pleased to have so many of them jump on board again with us this year to give our community something really fun to look forward to.
I love it. Whether you love the zoo or you just love beer, we can get the two groups all together and meet in the middle. So how do we get tickets? What's the price, the hours, the details?
Yeah, so tickets are only $20 in advance. You can get them on our website, redriverzoo.org, or go to our Facebook. We have a super fun Facebook page where we do a lot of silly things and educational things, and that's at Red River Zoo. And they're going to be $25 on the day of the event if you want to buy them at the door. We are encouraging pre-sales to try to make sure that we can get people through the doors as quickly as possible. And in addition to that, we do have a limit this year on how many people are going to be able to be in the zoo at any given time. So you want to get your tickets so that you can ensure that you are able to attend.
Okay, and once again, this is happening tomorrow night. Still plenty of time to get the crew together. Maybe it's just a date night, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or I think it would be a really fun night with a group of friends that you haven't got to spend much time with, too.
Exactly. I think we all need a little bit of that while also being careful.
Exactly. Thank you, Sally. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on North Dakota Today.